What's up, y'all, and welcome to season 3 of the Dope Life podcast. Look, I gotta be cheering for myself because season 1 was a learning curve. Season 2 was absolutely successful. We had a lot of great people that came on. If you haven't, go and tune into season 2 and come back into season 3. I have to take a second and just give thanks to appreciation and just gratitude to everyone who have listened, subscribed, and been rocking with me since season 1 all the way to season 3. I just want you to understand that right now, the reason why that we're able to even get to season 3 is because of you, because you keep tuning in, you keep supporting, and I truly, truly appreciate all of the support and to, come into my success of this. So first of all, this season, we're just really going to be rocking with a lot of mental health. We're going to be having special guests on there. We're going to be talking about how everyone kind of just deals with their own mental health, because there's not one size fits all type of thing. And I really wanted to tap into that this season so that we could, to you, the viewers and listeners, can grab as many little tips that could possibly work for your life. Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's not one size fits all. What works for me may not work for you, but maybe one of my special guests that come on, you could be like, oh man, like I thought about that. Maybe it'll work for me. So that's the whole point. So I'm just going to really tap into what I've been up to the last couple of months. I took, after Christmas or before Christmas, I took some time off for myself, because I can't be not practicing what I preach. All right. So I took some time off for myself and to just really kind of sit down with who AJ was. So I'm going to kind of break into some of the stuff that I've been through. So if you know from last year, I do have a full-time job. And last year I was assaulted on the job. And I attempted to go back to work in December, and it was not a success, unfortunately. But I learned a lot of things that I still had to deal with, some deep-rooted issues I had when it came towards my PTSD, my anxiety, and how I was handling the job and handling day-to-day life and handling certain situations that were surrounding the assault that happened at my job. And one of the things that my therapist I really kind of tapped into is that I wasn't fully healed at all. I wasn't, and I don't think you're not so much a fully healed, because you're never going to be fully healed. You just learn how to kind of cope and deal with it day by day. But I wasn't even quite ready as much as I thought I was. I was not. And we took a huge step back, and we're working with other agencies to figure out how to situate me back into work. Beyond that, I've been really diving into being around family, friends, my partner, and other really just great things of life. And I cannot express such gratitude I have for the people in my life that have supported me within the last, 9 months. It means everything. So shout out to them. But the one thing I really wanted to tap into today is just seasonal depression and mental health, because we're still in the wintertime. Even though we just hit March, today is March 2nd, even though we just hit March, it's just, we still got to tap into how we can handle that. And if you live in Canada, like I do, or if you live in any, cold climate, studies have shown that 1 in 5 Canadians have experienced mental health illness. Now, through COVID, we've learned how should I even word this? How it's increased in terms of mental health, and how people are struggling, day by day, and how they're using maybe unhealthy coping mechanisms such as alcohol, or drugs, or food, or whatever, and I mean food because, food could be an addiction as well, to cope, right? Young people between the ages of 15 to 24 years of age has been noticed to be suffering from substance abuse, mental illness. The numbers have increased. I mean, when I was younger, there was just certain types of drugs out there, and I'm not going to get too much into it, but now it's very different. And also, young adults are having more access to it a lot easier. Now, I mean, I can't say myself, I've never really done drugs like that, how easy of an access it is, but I see a number of young adults doing it and having such very easy access to it. If not as soon as they turn the legal age to drink, yeah, that's become a huge coping mechanism as well, right? So today I'm really going to dedicate this episode to anyone and everyone, okay, that is suffering from mental health and substance, which, to be honest with you, a lot of us are suffering from mental health, right? Like, we all have our own battle that we're facing. And again, I am your host, y'all, Coach AJ. Let's get into it. All right, yo. So mental health is absolutely wealth, and many of us suffer from mental health, or have suffered from mental health, and we've suffered, unfortunately, alone, afraid to speak up. Okay, because of unpacking all of that we have been tucking away in that suitcase for so long, afraid to who to speak up to, if it's a safe space to speak up with them, right? And unpacking all of that is difficult, and it's a lot, and it's uncomfortable. And I think what I've learned the most throughout my healing journey is unpacking any type of trauma I had, any type of hurt I've had, was the most, like I say, revealing to a lot of my habits that I was doing as an adult, revealing to a lot of most of how I was coping around certain people, my people pleasing. That was a huge one for me, kind of figuring that out throughout the last couple of years of my life, where it stemmed from, and unpacking that to understand that, yeah, I'm a people pleaser. Yeah, I use this to cope. Yeah, I don't speak because I'm afraid of reactions and things like that. It really boiled down to me unpacking that suitcase that I have pretty much put a lock on and shoved it in a closet or shoved it underneath my bed and didn't want to have anything to do it. And I wanted to provide you with a few tips, though, like tips that I've personally used to get through those tough times. Because, like I said, I have put everything in a suitcase and I've shoved it in the closet. I've shoved it underneath my bed. I've put it away. So let's kind of get into a couple of tips that I've personally used throughout the last couple of years to help myself deal with my own mental health. So be gentle, okay? And I know people are like, be gentle, of course. No, I mean, sincerely. We give, a sense of kindness and calmness to other people, but we sometimes forget to give that to ourselves. So be gentle. Be gentle to you. Self-compassion is an important part of managing your mental health, like being gentle with yourself and focus on what you can do rather than what you can't. Because there's some stuff you just cannot do, and that's okay. But the stuff that you can do, that's fine. But don't focus on the stuff, so much stuff like I can't do this or I'm unable to do this yet. How about we look at the stuff that we have right now in the present moment? I saw this clip and it made sense, where we have our past, okay, our present, and our future. And the mind can't really work in two places more than once. But do you know how many people will live in the past, and that's where your depression and your heartache, all that stuff is. They'll skip the present. Go to the future, and that's where your anxiety kicks in. And that just made so much more sense to me, because how many times have I literally had the feeling of anxiety, I'm sure you have as well, where I'm worrying about what's ahead of me. Skipped over the present completely, worried about what's ahead of me versus worrying about where I am right now. And then I'm still kind of living in the past, worrying about, what has happened then. Now, don't get me wrong, depression is depression. I understand, okay? There's things that could still relate to your present when it comes towards depression. I understand that. But it just made sense. But the one thing that I've learned the most, with also giving myself, being gentle and giving myself permission to be gentle to myself, was I was skipping over being present. I was skipping over living in the present moment. And I think the biggest takeaway I took from being present when I finally did it, wholeheartedly with intention, was how much time I had missed. I was like, wow, I've missed a lot of time, which is me now looking in the past, which depression could come in. I said, okay, now that I know this, let me focus on the present. Let me just focus on being present around family and friends and loved ones, because that present moment is just what you need sometimes. You don't need all the time. You don't need the past. Okay? You could heal the past 100%. And I would suggest heal the past to clear up for your future. But sit in the present moment. It's like a balance. It's definitely a balance. Instead of focusing on what you can't do, focus on what you can do. And take time for yourself. And take time to treat yourself with kindness. Again, you treat other people with kindness. You treat other people with respect. You give them a sense of calmness sometimes. But you don't give it to yourself. And that's how I think we have to continuously do that to fill our cup. I had to find that balance of I'm a life coach. I help people out. This is what I do. I love it, right? But then I would come home or sit by myself and be depleted because I didn't fill back up my cup. I didn't give myself that sense of gentleness, that calmness. Take breaks when you need it, especially not just when you feel overwhelmed. Take breaks just because. Take breaks just because. Like if there's a Saturday morning you wake up and you really want to take an extra hour in bed, especially if you're a parent and them kids are still sleeping, take that break. The dishes, all of that, it'll get done. Take that break, please. And take multiple breaks, as much as you need to maintain your mental health. Don't be so hard on yourself, okay? Do not be so hard on yourself. Be gentle with yourself because the world is already going to be hard on you in some sense. Life be lifing, people be peopling, all right? So instead of having to deal with all of that, how about we just give ourselves a sense of, I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to be gentle with myself. So that's it. That's number one. Definitely be gentle with yourself. Number two, reach out for help, okay? Reach out for help. Reach out for as much help as you need. Even if you have a very confident person where it's a safe space and you could talk to them. And they've asked you, like, how are you doing? No, how are you really doing? Ask them, do you have a moment? I may have to dump on you a little bit because I'm going through something. Reach out for help. Ask for help, okay? Being Caribbean, I remember when I told my mom the first time I was going to therapy, her facial expression was trying to be the understanding parent. I was an adult at that point, and she was trying to understand why. As the time progressed, she saw the improvement in myself and she just understood why. And yes, I definitely get great sorts of guidance from, like meditation, prayer, mindfulness activities to help my mental health and kind of keep my mental health in balance. But at the end of the day, the four that's actually helped me, but I haven't done all of them, but helped others I know is, of course, go to see a psychologist, okay? Psychotherapy. I love therapy. Love it. I think therapy is amazing. It's an amazing tool. And I suggest everyone, if you have something that that you want to kind of like clear up, a trauma, whatever the case is, career issues, whatever, relationship issues, therapy. Number two is 100% counseling. There's so many counselors out there that could help you, and they're amazing counselors. Reach out to counselors and reach out to services. Coaching, like myself, I'm a life coach. Reach out to life coaches, okay? Like, especially if it's not something that's something that you don't know where to start. My therapist said it best. Like, she loves the fact that coaches are becoming more prominent because you could help us. There's so many people that need help with mental health. And you guys could help us balance that out because there may be something that you guys can help them out. And then the more in serious cases they can handle. And also group therapy as well. Like, if you do AA, family group therapy, Alacon, whatever it is, group therapy is also a very good tool as well. Okay, number three that I've used to help with my mental health. Take time for myself. Take time for yourself. I used to kind of feel like it was a little bit selfish. And then I had to really dig into that. It's it's selfful. Like, I need to do it. It's more of a must. It used to be like, yeah, I'll do it. Now it's you got to do it. Take a few minutes each day to just like practice, let's say like mindful breathing. I do the 3 deep breaths. I should do that at work. I would do that here, wherever I could. 3 deep breaths, whether especially if you're in a difficult situation, but also if you're just not. I guarantee you, one thing I learned the most is when I was having a great day. I take 3 deep breaths, and my nerves, my forehead would drop, my shoulders would relax. I was like, oh shoot, was I tense? Sometimes your body's tense, you don't even know it. So taking those 3 deep breaths help a lot. Close your eyes, focus on breathing, allow your mind to rest and be clear. Okay. If you're at work and you have you have your lunch break, your 15, whatever, highly suggest you do this because it will help you manage your stress or any other stressful moments you have throughout your day. Just by doing that, even between your day, helps. Make time for leisure walks. Ooh, I love the outdoors. I used to never like the outdoors, to be very honest, but I absolutely love the outdoors. I enjoy nature a whole lot more. Just maybe not in the snow so much, but I do enjoy it. I try to enjoy it in the snow as well, especially another time that you could take deep breaths and kind of do leisure walks is while you're walking and you're like at the crisp air. I did it today. I went for a walk and I hit the crisp air hit me and I just took 3 deep breaths and it was so fresh. It was just clear. And I just felt an immediate feeling of ease. And so definitely if you want to couple that together, do that. Set aside time for any hobbies. Any hobbies, okay? Whether it's, I don't know, painting, coloring, crocheting, cooking, reading a book, exercising, whatever it is, actually time block these things. And I'm probably gonna do an episode on time blocking because I think it's super important how that's affected and I love time blocking and how it's really helped my life. So definitely do that. Make time for an activity that promotes self-care. So I think I've learned this from a lot of women, like a lot of other women, but I just learned from people in general. While after you shower, that's the best time to like do your facial routine and stuff like that. Men, you can have a facial routine. You can have a facial routine. Nothing's wrong with it. It's not just for women, especially if you have a beard. Yo, take care of that. Get like good beard. I heard they have shampoo for beard, conditioner, nice little like, grease for it. Like it's hair, right? So do that, especially men. Women, of course, take that, especially if you're a mother. You put the kids to sleep, they knocked out KO. That is your time. That is your time to take care of you. Go have a nice bath. Even if it's just once a week you do it, okay? Go have a nice bath. Kick up, okay? And just take that moment for yourself. So yeah, definitely like schedule the self-care hobby. Schedule breaks. Okay, so if you're an entrepreneur like myself, one thing I'm a full-time employee, you get scheduled breaks at work for the most part, right? And I would take my breaks at work. But the one thing I forgot as an entrepreneur, I would never schedule breaks in between my day. So the issue with that was I was overworking. So I would start work from, let's say, in the early morning on my off days or whatever, vacation days, whatever it was. And then by the time I blink, it's like 5 p.m. And I'm like, where's the day gone? I took no breaks. I have been outside and things like that. So like definitely schedule the breaks. And even if it means a lunch break, schedule your breaks to just take a few moments, step away from your computer, step away from whatever it is that you're doing. Take that break. All right. Here's one that helped my mental health more than I thought. And I didn't realize that I was not doing it enough. Sleep. Oh gosh, do not sleep on sleep. Studies have shown that the average adult needs about 7 hours, 7 good hours, okay, of quality sleep. Getting enough sleep isn't only just towards the amount of hours you have, but it's more the quality you have. Like actually being in a deep sense of sleep. And I did not know that I was sleeping, but I wasn't sleeping. So I would still wake up sometimes extremely tired. And I'm like, but I slept X amount of hours. Like, this makes no sense. But it's also me realizing what I was doing before bed. Scrolling on my phone. That was a big one. I still struggle with it. I'm human. But I tend to shut it off at a certain point. I sit in complete darkness or I read a book before bed. These are the steps I kind of take to kind of just wind down, slow my body down. Your body does the most important work when you're sleeping. It's not so because it needs that rest so that you can get up and have the energy. So please try to manage a certain sleep schedule. I understand parents, if you just had a newborn, that's not happening. So, but after the fact, try to adapt a better sleep schedule, because I used to sleep on sleep, and now I'm no longer doing that. That's never going to happen again. I love my sleep more than anybody can ever measure and or ever know. And yeah, like sleep is the one thing I think a lot of us tend to sleep on, because you could drink all the Red Bulls and 5 hour shots you want in the day, but that good quality rest is necessary. All right, so yeah, kind of like tapping into what I said earlier, like definitely be one with nature, even if it means you just sit in it. I used to love meditating in nature. I still do to this day. It gives you such reduce of your stress when you just in nature. You listen to the birds, listen to the trees, whatever it is. It calms your mind, and whether you're just going right bike riding, hiking, going for a walk, running, just being there and taking a moment to be with nature, that was a huge one for me. That really, really took a toll. I want to try camping. I mean, the whole bath situation is what's kind of holding me back, but I definitely want to try it. I think that will definitely catapult how I love nature. Practice mindfulness at least, I would say, every day, 10 to 20 minutes. If you want to start off with 5, by all means. By doing that, it can reduce your stress, anxiety. It can help you become more aware of the present moment. But at the same time, because I think people also have a misconception of meditation. Meditation is not trying to completely shut off all the thought process and the thoughts in your head. It's trying to clear it up. How I see it, this is just me. It tries to clear up the thoughts and the voices you need to hear, the messages you need to hear, the visions. Oh gosh, when you start meditating, you're going to start seeing a whole lot more visions. And it's very telling. It's very telling. And by adding this into your routine, especially have a fun routine. You don't need to have a routine that's very boring. Like nobody wants to do that. You got to have a fun routine that you're going to want to constantly do and come back to. So yeah, having a fun routine, I dance in the morning, I make my coffee, I pray, I meditate, I journal, and I stretch, I work out. That's pretty much within it. I don't do it all in that order, but I just make sure that I kind of check it off on every box. I like to do them all. It's activities that I love. So tapping into a routine that works for you is also a good way to manage and balance out your mental health. All right, so I want you to try this activity. I've tried this with many people, and they always find it relaxes them sometimes into a sleep. And I love this activity. Every now and then I do it, especially if I'm having a hard time falling asleep. And it works each time that I do it, especially if I'm having a very stressful moment. So I want you to sit on your couch, your floor, a chair, whatever it is, and I want you to allow your bed, your couch, or your chair, or the floor to hold you up. What I mean by that is sink your body into that seat. Just sink your entire body. I want you to relax every limb, every part of your body. Just allow your body to sit in that seat. Just allow your body to chill out. Don't move any limbs. Just relax. Just relax. Once you unclench your jaw, when you relax your forehead, relax your shoulders. I want you to feel that sense relax. So relaxation all the way down your legs, your arms, your torso. Just be. How did that feel? Now you could do it even longer. I do it sometimes hella longer, and it knocks me out. So try that activity, I'd be curious, and on my social media, I would, if you want to just screenshot this episode and tag me in it. Let me know if that activity helped you in any way, shape, or form. Try for a week, let me know. I'm curious. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Dope Life Podcast episode. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. I appreciate that. Again, I am Coach AJ, Dope Life Coach, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode and you gained some knowledge from it. Stay dope and walk with peace. Peace.